Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Namaste Saraswati Devi Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Hare Namah Krishna
Yadavaya Namah
Gopal Govindara
Inch Sudana
Mukha Karoti Vajalam
Pangalangayate Girim
Yati Dhatavan Mande
Shri Gurun Dinatarinam
Paramananda Madhavam
Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram
Hari Om Tat Sat
Om Tat Sat. The verse number? Okay, third canto, chapter 7, text 37. Chapter 13, text 37 and 38. So we read first 37, and then together we can read 38. Dikshanu janmo pasada shirodaram tvam prayaniyo dayaniya damstraha jiva pravargyastava shirshakam krato satyavasatyam chitayo savohite. Translation. Moreover, O Lord, the repetition of your appearance is the desire for all kinds of initiation. Your neck is the place for 3 desires, and your tusks are the results of initiation and the end of all desires. Your tongue is the prior activities of initiation. Your head is the end of all desires. Your tongue is the prior activities of initiation. Your head is the fire without sacrifice, as well as the fire of worship. And your living forces are the aggregate of all desires. Text 38. Somastureta savananyavastite samsta vibedastava devadatava satrani sarvani sarira sandis Tvam sarva yagya kratur isti bandanaha. Would anybody like to repeat? Vaishnavis,
Ready?
ladies.
A verse.
Translation and purport. Shall we read word for word? Word for word. Soma Tureta. Your semen is the sacrifice called Soma. Savanani. Ritualistic performances of the morning. Avastitihi. Different statuses of bodily growth. Samsta Vibedaha. 7 varieties of sacrifices. Tava, your. Deva, O Lord. Datavaha. Ingredients of the body such as skin and flesh. Shatrani. Sacrifices performed over 12 days. Sarvani, all of them. Sharira, the bodily. Sandhihi, joints. Tvam, your lordship. Sarva, all. Yagya, asoma. Yagya asama kratu, who? Sorry. Yagya asama, sacrifices. Kratuhu, Kratuhu soma, sacrifices. Isti, the ultimate. Bandhana, attachment. The ultimate desire, Translation. O Lord, your semen is the sacrifice called Soma Yagya. Your growth is the ritualistic performances of the morning. Your skin and touch sensations are the 7 elements of the Agnistoma sacrifice. Your bodily joints are symbols of various other sacrifices performed in the 12 days. Therefore, you are the object of all sacrifices called Soma and asoma, and you are bound by yagyas only. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. There are 7 kinds of routine yagyas performed by all followers of the Vedic rituals, and they are called Agnishtoma, Atyagnishtoma, Ukta, Sodashi, Vajapeya, Atiratra, and Aptoryama. Anyone performing such yagyas regularly is supposed to be situated with the Lord, but anyone who is in contact with the Supreme Lord by discharging devotional service is understood to have performed all different varieties of yagyas. End of purport to text 38. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So these are prayers offered to Varahadev.
So these are prayers offered to Varahadev.
The Lord, He appears in different forms.
The Lord, He appears in different forms.
And the Lord is described as Ananta Rupam.
So the Lord is described as Ananta Rupam.
He has unlimited forms.
He has unlimited forms.
None of these forms are material.
And none of these forms are material.
So, to lift up the earth, which had fallen from the orbit,
So to lift up the earth which has fallen from the orbit
and was in the bottom of the Govardhan ocean.
and was in the bottom of the Garbhodaksha ocean.
So the Lord assumed the form of a gigantic boar
So the Lord assumed the form of a gigantic boar
and lifted up the earth between his 2 tusks,
and lifted
put
up
it
the
back
earth
in orbit.
between his 2 tusks and put it back in orbit.
Hiranyaksha was very angry with this.
And so Hiranyaksha was very angry with this.
How could anyone save the earth
How
against
can
his
anyone
will?
save the earth?
Against his will.
This is against his will.
Hiranyaksha, the great demon.
Hiranyaksha, the great demon.
It's interesting because today we have many industries taking oil from the earth.
It's interesting because today we have many industries taking oil from the earth.
And that oil may be needed to keep the earth afloat.
But that oil may be needed to keep the earth afloat.
And people are worried about the ecology. We don't know how the earth is staying afloat in orbit.
People are worrying about the ecology, but we don't know how the earth is staying in orbit.
So previously the demons headed by Hiranyaksha dealt so badly with the earth that the earth fell out of orbit.
Previously, the demons known as Hiranyaksha dealt with the earth so badly that the earth fell out of its orbit.
So this Varahadev lifted the earth up, put it back into orbit.
So Varahadev, he lifted it back up and put it back in its orbit.
That's why when we do the groundbreaking ceremonies,
That's why when we do the groundbreaking ceremonies,
we do the Varaha Puja.
we do the Bu Varaha Puja.
Earth, Bu means the earth, and Varaha is Lord Varahadev.
So Bu means earth and Varaha is Lord Varahadev.
So, moving the earth is considered like one of the consorts of the Lord and Varahadev.
So Bhumi, the earth, is considered as one of the consorts of Varahadev.
So like this, when we cut the earth to build the temple, we do a Bhu Varaha Puja.
So like this, when we cut the earth to build a temple, we do the Bhu Varaha
Because we're
ceremony.
cutting the earth to ask for forgiveness. We worship her and her husband.
So we are cutting the earth, we are asking for forgiveness, and we're worshiping her and her husband.
And my Prabhupada did this in Mayapur. We did the Bhu Varaha Puja. He dug a big hole and put the Ananta Sesha Nag snake in the hole.
So in Mayapur, we did this Bhu Varaha ceremony, and we dug, Srila Prabhupada, he had ordered that, and so we dug this hole, and then we had placed the Shesha Nag on the bottom.
So just as Sesha holds the world up, we want Sesha to hold the temple up.
So just as Shesha holds the whole world up, we want Shesha to hold the temple.
Prabhupada said that the first Ananta Sesha was just to hold the whole Mayapur project up.
So Srila Prabhupada was saying that the first Ananta Shesha is holding up the whole Mayapur project up.
And then he wanted to, he had another Ananta Sesha installed all of the temple.
And then he had another Ananta Shesh installed just below the temple.
So, but actually, when we do the Navadvip Parikrama,
Actually, when we do the Navadvip Dham Parikrama,
we go to the 9 islands.
we go through the 9 islands.
Srimantadvip,
Shimanta Dweep,
then the Godram Dvip,
Godrim Dweep,
Madhadvip,
Madhya Dweep,
Koladvip,
Kola Dweep,
Vitudvip,
Ritu Dweep,
Jantadvip,
Jana Dweep,
Madhudadvip,
Madhurudam Dweep,
Rudradvip,
Rudra Dweep,
and Antadvip.
and Anta Dweep.
Which of those dweeps are dedicated to Varahadev?
Which of those dweeps are dedicated to Varahadev?
Correct.
Correct.
Koladvip.
Kola Dweep.
It says that when the Earth was put out in orbit, there was a big fight in the outer space between Hiranyaksha and Varahadev.
So they said that when the earth was put back in its orbit, then there was a big fight between Varahadev and Hiranyaksha.
And Varahadev, when he finally did the death blow to the demon,
So Varahadev, when he finally did the death blow to Hiranyaksha, the demon,
his lotus foot touched the earth.
his lotus foot touched the earth.
And his head too.
And it's just like, doom.
And where the foot touched the earth, the lotus foot is called a deep
So
and down.
where his lotus foot touched the earth is Kola Dweep and Navadvip Dham. Haribo!
And that place is famous. Kulyapat, Alvaranjan, Kulyapat.
So that place is also famous for Kulyapat,
And there's a place
Banjan.
where one can get forgiven for Vaishnava Aparats.
There's a place where one can get forgiven for Vaishnav aparads.
We know that the Vaishnava Aparats are the first of the 10 offenses.
We know that Vaishnav aparad is the first of the 10 offenses to the holy name.
Very, very dangerous.
It is very, very dangerous.
So that can be forgiven in Koladip.
But that could be forgiven in Kola Dweep.
So when we do the Koladip Parikrama, we run down there and pray for forgiveness for our offenses.
So when we are doing the Kola Dweep Parikrama, we bow down there and beg for for forgiveness from our offenses.
Anybody offended us, let me offer our forgiveness to them.
Anybody who has been offended from us, let me offer my respects and be forgiven from them.
Although he likes the pastime, and Lord Chaitanya came back to Navadvip after 10 years.
So Abhay Nimai, he likes the pastime where Lord Chaitanya came back to Navadvip after 10 years.
And he was in Koladvip.
And he was in Koladvip that time.
At that time, when people realized that Gauranga had come back,
So at that time, when the people realized that Lord Chaitanya had come back,
they dropped whatever they were doing and ran.
they just dropped whatever they were doing and ran.
And they came to the Ganges River.
They came to the Ganges River.
So there were boats there.
There were these boats there.
So they went on the boats.
They went on the boats.
And the boatman said, no, it's too many people.
The boatsman said, no, too many people now.
But no one would listen.
No one will listen.
No one!
Nobody.
And the boat sank.
The boat sank.
And the people they jumped in the river.
The people, what did they do? They just jumped in the river
And they swam.
and they swam.
So they were like mad to see Lord Gauranga.
So they were like mad to see Lord Gauranga.
At that time, not only the Ganges was like a little saffron-y, creamy color.
So at that time, normally the Ganges is like a little saffron, creamy color.
There's so many heads of so many people, and the Ganges appeared black.
There were so many heads and so many people that the Ganges appeared black.
And they went to the other side,
And they went to the other side.
and Lord Chaitanya was in the house of the brother of Sarvabhaumacharya.
So Lord Chaitanya was at the house of the brother of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
And the people, masses, multitudes of people, they were just chanting, Gauranga, Gauranga.
There were masses and multitudes of people, and they were just simply chanting, Gauranga, Gauranga,
Gauranga!
Gauranga,
Gauranga!
Gauranga.
And Jayapataka, the brother of Sarvabhauma,
Vidya Vachaspati, the brother of Sarvabhauma,
he requested Lord Chaitanya, if you don't go outside, I'm going to knock my house down.
he said, if you don't go outside, he requested to Lord Chaitanya, if you don't go outside, they're going to knock my house down.
So Lord Chaitanya went out,
So Lord Chaitanya went out,
and all the people bowed down.
and all the people bowed down.
And he spoke to them,
And he spoke to them,
please chant Hare Krishna.
please chant Hare Krishna.
Now, Lord Chaitanya is known as Grihi Jana Shikha,
So Lord Chaitanya is also known as Grihi Jana Shikha,
the instructor of the Grihastas.
the instructor of the Grihastas.
He tells Grihastas what they should do to go back to Godhead.
He tells Grihastas what they should do to go back to Godhead.
And this is very important.
This is very important.
He's also known as the Nyasi Kula Nayak.
He is also known as Nyasi Kula Nayak, Sannyasi Kula Nayak.
It sounds Nyasi.
In Sanskrit, it's pronounced as Nyasi.
So, that he's the hero of the sannyasi.
He's the hero of the sannyasis.
But I think in this community, probably the Grihi Jana Shikha is more applicable.
I think in this community, the Grihi Jana Shikha is more applicable.
But anyway,
But anyways,
he has both names.
he has both names.
So, that he talked to the people, and then he dragged in the house, and he disappeared, and appeared back 2 miles down the road.
So he went back into the house. After talking to the people, he went back into the house and he just disappeared and appeared 2 miles down the town.
So, that's just what he had to tell people he's gone.
Vidya Vachaspati, he had to tell the people he's gone.
But no one believed it.
Nobody would believe
So
him.
he brought 5 people inside the house in a search to see.
So he brought 5 people in the house, they searched to see.
And they confirmed
Then they confirmed
he's gone.
he's gone.
So, also, Varahadev, a very interesting part
Also, Varahadev is a very interesting form
with Lord Chaitanya's pastimes.
in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes.
And now, since I combined these different books,
Since I'm combining this different books,
because all of the authors, they respect each other.
see, all the authors, they respect each other because all the
And
authors,
they expect that everybody has read the other 10 books.
they expect that every others have read the other 10 books.
Actually, that's not the case.
But actually, that's not the case.
Anyway, so, like you find in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it doesn't have much detail of the early life,
So you find in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it doesn't have much detail of the early life
because he says that Krishna Kaviraj, he said this is given in the Chaitanya Bhagavat.
because there it said, Krishnadas Kaviraj, he says that this is given in the Chaitanya Bhagavat.
And that Vrindavandas Thakur is the Vyasdeva of Chaitanya Lila.
So Vrindavan Das Thakur, he is the Vyasadev of the Chaitanya Lila.
But some pastimes, which are missed by both, are in the Chaitanya Mangal.
But some pastimes which are missed in both are mentioned in the Chaitanya Mangal.
And some are more details are in the notebooks of Marigupta and others.
So some books, they're known in more detail in the Murai Gupta, Kocha and others.
So I tried to combine all those.
So I'm trying to combine all of those.
I'm at the Andalila now.
I'm at the Anta Lila now.
I read Chaitanya Bhagavat, Glories of Nityananda last night.
I read the Chaitanya Bhagavat, the glories of Nityananda last night.
But anyway,
Anyways,
the Marigupta, he's actually the Hanuman avatar.
so Murai Gupta, he's actually the Hanuman avatar.
And he was saying the Sahasranam of Vishnu.
So he was chanting, we were chanting the Sahasranam of Vishnu.
When he came to the Varahadev,
He was. When he came to Varahadev,
and Lord Chaitanya, he was ecstatic.
then Lord Chaitanya, he became ecstatic.
He took the form of Varahadev
He took the form of Varahadev
and manifested the four hoofs,
and manifested 4 hoofs.
I guess they call them hoofs, right?
Yeah, they're called hoofs. The big.
So, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur in his purport,
So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his purport, he mentions,
and anybody claims that they're God,
if anybody claims that they're God,
ask them to manifest their hoofs.
ask them to manifest their hooves.
Not very hard, right?
Not very hard, right?
It's 4 hoofs.
Just 4 hooves.
But it's not possible for ordinary people.
But it's not possible for ordinary people.
But the Supreme Person Godhead, Lord Chaitanya, he manifested hoofs.
But the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Chaitanya, he manifested hooves.
And he ran around
And he ran around
Varahadev.
as Varahadev.
Just like when he heard the name of Nrsingadev,
Just like when he heard
went
the
into
name,
the ecstasy of Nrsingadev.
just like when he heard the name of Lord Nrsingadev, he went into the ecstasy of Lord Nrsingadev.
And then he carried a stick in and out where are the demons? Where are the
He was
demons?
carrying a stick in his hand and he went around, where are the demons? Where are the demons?
And people, when they saw him in an angry mood with a stick, they ran away.
And people, saw him in an angry mood with the stick, they ran away.
And then he said, oh, I committed an offense. I scared everybody.
Oh, then he realized, I committed an offense. I scared everyone.
But she
Everybody.
lost said, you liberated all of them.
Then Srivas Thakur said, you liberated all of them.
So these are some interesting pastimes that happened with Varahadev.
So these are some interesting pastimes that happened as Lord Varahadev.
Sometimes we ask, if people claim to be God, Avatar, they can show their Vishwarup.
Sometimes we ask, when people claim to be God, we say, could you show your Vishwarup or something?
Here, so they can show their hoofs.
Here we can say, he's saying you can show your hoofs.
Very easy.
Very easy.
So, and we see how, like the guru of Hiranyakashipu or Sukracharya,
So we see how the guru of Hiranyakashipu was Sukracharya.
and we know that his two sons tried to teach Prahlad material political science.
I didn't know that
What?
I didn't know.
You didn't know? Who did
Yeah.
that?
Did you know that he tried to teach his two sons politics?
Political science.
Political science.
But it's interesting to note in the 9th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, a daughter of Sukracharya
It's interesting to note that in the 9th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the daughter of Sukracharya
who was married to the king Yayati.
was married to the king Yayati.
And after a long life of sense gratification,
After a long life of sense gratification,
suddenly Yayati came to his consciousness.
suddenly Yayati came to his consciousness.
He told the humorous story to his dear wife,
So he told
Devayani,
he told his humorous story to his dear wife,
Devayani,
Devayani.
and he told a story about a man, a male goat and a female goat.
He's told a story about a male goat and a female goat.
And actually, to this humorous story, he was telling her about their life.
And actually, through this humorous story, he was telling about their life.
How they're always enjoying material happiness.
How they were always they were enjoying material happiness.
But actually the real purpose of human life is to have self-realization.
But actually, the real purpose of human life is to have self-realization.
So that he was at a certain ripe age, he was determined to become Krishna conscious.
So he was at a certain ripe age, he was determined to become Krishna consciousness.
I mean, he had changed his old age for youth from his son.
He had changed his old age, his youth, to his son.
He said he wasn't satisfied.
But then he said he wasn't satisfied.
And if he's not sensually satisfied, he may come back again
If he's
another
not,
human birth.
if he is not sensually satisfied, he may come back again in another human birth.
But after a long while,
After a long while,
he realized that there's no satisfaction in material sense gratification.
he realized that there's no satisfaction in material sense gratification.
And he wanted to become fully Krishna conscious.
He wanted to become fully Krishna conscious.
So he preached to his wife,
So he preached to his wife.
and Devayani and Yayati both went back to the spiritual world.
And then Devayani and Yayati both went back to the spiritual world.
I was just thinking how Sukracharya, his sons, are very materialistic.
I was just thinking how Sukracharya, his sons, they are very materialistic.
But somehow his daughter, Devayani, by following Yayati Maharaj, after a long life of sensual enjoyment, they finally became fully Krishna conscious.
But then Devayani, his daughter, after being preached to by Yayati, his husband, after a long life of sense gratification, they went back to Godhead.
And I was wondering why was I telling all this story in the 9th canto,
I was wondering, why are they telling all this story in the 9th canto,
which is the canto of liberation.
which was the canto of liberation, or the
What?
chapter.
Finally, they were both liberated.
But finally they were both liberated.
Well, very interesting.
So it was very interesting.
Anyway, Lord Chaitanya, he came down from the spiritual world with his associates.
So anyways, Lord Chaitanya, he came down from the spiritual world with his
And
associates.
this verse tells us how the Lord is made out of sacrifices,
So this verse tells us how the Lord is made out of sacrifices.
and how from the report he says of 7 practices.
And how Srila Prabhupada, he says in the purport how there are 7 practices,
Krishna consciousness,
Krishna consciousness.
that consider have already gone over, done all the sacrifices.
So Krishna consciousness is considered that they've already gone over all the sacrifices.
And of course, we know that in this Kali Yuga, the recommended sacrifice is chanting Hare Krishna.
And of course, we know that in this Kali Yuga that the recommended sacrifice is chanting Hare Krishna.
I would show Prabhupada, I think it was 1971,
I was with Srila Prabhupada, I think in 1971,
at the Arda Kumbh Mela in Prayag and Allahabad.
in the Arta Kumbh Mela in Prayag in Allahabad.
Prabhupada was lecturing on this,
Prabhupada was lecturing on this,
how one has surpassed or has done all the sacrifices
how one has done all the sacrifices
by practicing Krishna consciousness.
by practicing Krishna consciousness.
And one of my dear godbrothers at that time, I think one of the reasons
One of my dear godbrothers at that time, I think it was Madhudvisa Prabhu, I'm not
he
sure.
raised his hand.
He raised his hand.
He said, Prabhupada, you had said that if we do devotional service, we have already done all the sacrifices.
He said, Srila Prabhupada, if we do devotional service, we have already done all the sacrifices.
I looked at my life.
I look at my life,
I didn't do any sacrifices.
I didn't do any sacrifices.
I was completely lost.
I was completely lost.
So how is it that I got devotional service?
How is it that I got devotional service?
And Prabhupada asked,
Then Srila Prabhupada
Prabhupada
answered him,
that I have made your good fortune for you.
I have made your good fortune for you.
Haribo!
Haribo! Srila Prabhupada ki!
Actually, like Lord Chaitanya was telling Lord Nityananda that we come down from the spiritual world
Lord Chaitanya was telling Lord Nityananda that we come down from the spiritual world
to deliver these 4 kinds of people who normally are not delivered.
to deliver the 4 kinds of people who are normally not delivered.
One goes, the foolish people,
First goes the foolish people,
Nichus,
then the
Lowborn,
Nichus, the lowborn,
Patit,
the Patit,
Fallen,
the fallen,
people eat, I mean, do all the things that everybody does in America.
the fallen, I mean, people who eat meat, I mean, do all the things that we've done in America. Gambling, intoxication,
illicit sex.
illicit sex.
The distress they do get.
And then the distress, the dukkhi.
Anybody ever suffered in this world?
Has anyone ever suffered in this world?
So, Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, they come to deliver all of you.
So Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, they have come to deliver all of you.
And here it says that how the Lord is, what's the word he used? He reciprocates with sacrifices.
So here it says, what's the word? He reciprocates with the sacrifices.
Something like that.
Something like that.
So then we know that in the 11th canto, there's a prediction that Krishna will come in the Kali Yuga.
So we know in the 11th canto that there's a prediction that Krishna will come in Kali Yuga.
Krishna Varnam Tisa Krishnam
Krishna Varnam Tvisa Krishnam
Sangapangas Parshadam
Sangopangas Parshadam
Yagyai Sankirtana Prayar
Yagyai Sankirtana Prayar
Yajanti Hi Sumeda Saha.
Jajanti Hi Sumeda Saha.
And this form of the Lord, or Krishna, will not be dark color.
This form of the Lord of Krishna will not be dark color.
He'll come with his associates,
He'll come with his associates, expansions, energies,
etc.
etc.
And he will establish the Sankirtan sacrifice.
And he will establish the Sankirtan sacrifice.
And those who are intelligent, they will follow him.
And those who are intelligent, they will follow him.
But so much bliss, so much ecstasy in the syllables Krishna.
There is so much bliss, so much ecstasies in the syllable Krishna, in the syllables
Jayapataka
Krishna.
Swami was saying how sometimes you want to have like millions of ears and millions of tongues.
So Rupa Goswami, he was saying something like he wants to have millions of ears, millions of tongues,
Just to hear and chant Hare Krishna.
just to hear and chant Hare Krishna.
Anyway, Lord Chaitanya came down to give us the Sankirtan Yajna.
So Lord Chaitanya, he came down to give us the Sankirtan Yajna.
Previously, they may have had different Agnihotras and Treta Yuga,
So previously they may have had different Agnihotras in Treta Yuga.
and now we only use Agnihotra maybe in the initiations.
So now we only use Agnihotra maybe in the initiations
And so in some stars,
and also the some samskaras.
but usually that would be the main way they would associate with Krishna.
But usually that would be mainly related or associated with Krishna.
But now, in Kali Yuga, our sacrifice is chanting the holy name.
But now in Kali Yuga, our sacrifice is chanting the holy name.
One time there
Holy
was
names.
a drought for some years in Andhra Pradesh,
One time there was a drought for some years in Andhra Pradesh.
and in Tirupati, they had 108 fire sacrifices.
And in Tirupati, they had 108 fire sacrifices.
And they had, with every kunda, they had the Hotri, the Ravana, offered the sacrifice.
So in every kunda, they had the hotri, the Brahmin who offers the
And
sacrifice.
they had a tester would test if they said the mantra correctly.
And then they had a tester who would test that they say the mantra is correct.
But that was such a mess, so many errors, that the whole sacrifice, instead of producing rain, it produced smoke.
So it was such a mess that the whole sacrifice, without producing rain, it produced smoke.
And Lord Chaitanya, Prabhupada, in Hyderabad, he chanted Hare Krishna.
So Srila Prabhupada in Hyderabad, he chanted Hare Krishna.
Did the Nam Sankirtan sacrifice.
Did the Nam Sankirtan sacrifice.
It rained for 7 days.
And it rained for 7 days.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Srila Prabhupada ki!
So he was empowered. I was on the program, and these celebrated Brahmanas in India.
So he was empowered. Actually, I went to a program with the celebrated Brahmanas in India.
And they openly declared that Prabhupada was a Shaktavesh avatar.
And they openly declared that Srila Prabhupada was a Shaktavesh avatar.
Anyway,
Anyways,
Prabhupada was always very humble.
Srila Prabhupada was also very humble.
And he didn't want himself to be called Jagat Guru,
He didn't want himself to be called Jagat Guru
because some bogus gurus are claiming to be Jagat Guru,
because bogus gurus were claiming to be Jagat Guru.
that meaning had no relevance.
And the meaning had no relevance.
The guru of their village.
They were the guru of their village.
Prabhupada was a real Jagat Guru.
Srila Prabhupada was a real Jagat Guru.
But all these people claim to be Jagat Guru.
And but all these people, they claim to be Jagat Guru.
1008, 10,008.
1008, 10,008,
1 lakh and 8.
1 lakh and 8.
And just increase on the number of zeros.
Just a bunch of numbers of zeros.
And claim to be Jagat Guru.
Jagat, and then Jagat Guru.
But they didn't do anything.
But they didn't do anything.
Prabhupada, he came to the West with the mercy of Nitai Gaur
But Srila Prabhupada, he came to the West with the mercy of Nitai Gaur
to deliver everyone by this Harinam sacrifice.
to deliver everyone by this Harinam sacrifice.
Now Harinam is very popular,
Now Harinam is very popular.
but there's one verse that says, Dayatam Vishnu, Dayatam Yadvamakai, Dharvayam Pradijardayam, Alo Tatta Harikirtanat.
Do you know that verse?
That in the Satyuga and meditation,
That in the Satya, the verse translation goes as that in the Satya Yuga there's meditation, as
Treta Yuga was fire
in
sacrifice,
Treta Yuga there's fire sacrifice,
Dwapara Yuga was worshiping the Lord,
Dwapara Yuga there was worshiping the Lord, and
Kali
Archana,
Yuga, Harinam.
in Kali Yuga it's the Harinam.
And that's our sacrifice
That is our sacrifice
for this Yuga.
for this Yuga.
And if we perform that,
And if we perform that,
Kirtan, Japa,
Kirtan, Japa,
actually I saw the first day I came and there were so many devotees chanting.
actually I saw when I first came in there were so many devotees chanting.
And that was what, fourth. And most of them were ladies.
and most of them were ladies. When Guru Maharaj first came here to the temple.
Prabhupada was saying in the 9th canto, in the report where Arasi was mentioning about materialistic ladies.
So Prabhupada was saying in the 9th canto where Durvasi was mentioning about materialistic women,
that a lady becomes Krishna conscious. A man, woman, Sudra, it doesn't make any difference, they're all equal.
if the lady becomes Krishna conscious, the man, the woman, the Sudra, it doesn't matter, they're all equal.
So, it's a very important aspect of the 13th about Varahadev.
So this is a very important aspect of the 3rd canto, Lord Varahadev.
How in different avatars they have different moods.
How in different avatars they have different moods.
Like the Shingadev was angry
Like Lord Nishingadev is angry
because his devotee was being abused.
because his devotee was being abused.
And Lord Ram was perfect king, and
Lord Ram was a perfect king.
everybody has a different mood.
Everyone has a different mood.
And Lord Chaitanya's mood
And Lord Chaitanya's mood
and mercy.
is mercy.
He wants, Rama was saying that he cannot, there's no limit to Lord Chaitanya's mercy.
Srila Prabhupada was saying there's no limit to the mercy of Lord Chaitanya.
But we should have to be very sincere.
But we have to be very sincere.
We try to follow, and Lord Chaitanya's, he has unlimited mercy.
And we try to follow, and then Lord Chaitanya, he has unlimited mercy.
So he should not try.
So we shouldn't not try.
Lord Chaitanya, he's Parama Karuna, Nitai Gaura Chandra.
Lord Chaitanya, he is Parama Karuna Nitai Gaura Chandra.
How the Lord had come down as the devotee,
How the Lord has come down as his devotee,
and he had told in Dwarka that he would come down
he had told in Dwarka that he would come down.
because Rukmini, we are worshipping Rukmini and Dwarkadish.
Because Rukmini, we are worshipping Rukmini in Dwarkadish.
Rukmini said, Krishna, you know everything.
So Rukmini said to Krishna, you know everything.
You know what Lord Brahma is doing in Satyaloka.
You know what Lord Brahma is doing in Satyaloka.
You know what Shiva is doing in Kailash.
You know what Shiva is doing in
You know
Kailash.
what's going on in all the Ananta Koti universes.
You know what's going on in all the Ananta Koti universes.
The unlimited millions of universes.
There are unlimited millions of universes.
But there's one thing you don't know.
But there is one thing you don't know.
You don't know, I know.
You don't know, but I know.
Radharani knows.
Radharani knows,
But you don't know.
but you don't know.
No one ever told Krishna there's something that he didn't know.
No one ever told Krishna that something that he doesn't know.
So what's that?
What is that? He said.
I know, Radharani knows, you don't know.
She said, I know, Radharani knows, but you don't know.
So tell me.
So you should have told me.
I'll tell you what it is.
Tell me what it is.
So you don't have anybody above you.
See, you don't have anyone above you.
You don't know two things.
So you don't know two things.
How much your devotees love you,
How much your devotees love you,
and in what way we love you.
and in what way we love you.
You don't know.
You don't know.
So then he said, all right,
So
I will come back in Kali Yuga as my devotee.
So then he said, all right, I'll come back in Kali Yuga as my devotee.
I will come as my devotee.
I will come as my
I
devotee.
will come as my devotee.
I will come as my devotee.
Haribol.
Haribol!
So the reason that Lord Chaitanya came back was Rukmini Dwarkadish.
So the reason that Lord Chaitanya came back is Rukmini Dwarkadish.
Sunday night, what time?
So anyways, what time is it? 8:42, Guru Maharaj.
Huh?
8:42.
Sunday night. We're very, very, very unlimited fortunate.
So we are very, very, very unlimitedly fortunate
That Srila Prabhupada brought the mercy of Nitai Gaur
that Srila Prabhupada brought the mercy of Nitai Gaur
to us.
to us.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Rukmini Dwarkadish.
Jai Rukmini Dwarkadish.
Jai Srila Nitai Gaur.
Jai Srila Nitai Gaur.
Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra.
Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra.
Sudarshan Chakra.
Sudarshan Chakra.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Maharaj, my question is, what is your favorite of Chaitanya's pastimes?
What is your favorite of Chaitanya's pastimes? My question is that.
I like all of them.
I like all of them.
Well, this present pastime about Lord Nityananda doing the dacoits.
So this pastime about Lord Nityananda and the dacoits,
That's quite amazing.
that's quite amazing.
It's like whenever you read some pastime, it's so different.
It's like whenever you read a different pastime, whenever you read a pastime, it's so different.
It's so unique.
It's so unique.
And at that moment, I like that pastime.
At that moment, I like that pastime.
But I don't know if there's any pastime that's my favorite.
I don't know if there is any pastime that is my favorite.
What was unique was Nirmai Pandit. He didn't manifest his love of Krishna first in Navadvip.
But what's the unique is that Nimai Pandit, he didn't manifest his love of Krishna at first in Navadvip.
He manifested it in Gaya,
He manifested it in Gaya,
Bihar,
in Bihar,
after he got initiated from Ishwarpuri.
after he got initiated from Ishwarapuri.
He started chanting and dancing in ecstasy,
He started chanting and dancing in ecstasy,
crying like anything,
crying like anything.
and that was the beginning of his ecstasy.
That was the beginning of his ecstasy.
Before that, it was interesting. When he came back from there, he was a changed person.
Before that, it was interesting, but when he came back from there, he was a changed person.
Huh? Huh?
Those who have parked their car on the temple side, they're going to get a ticket, so they have to remove 8 to 10.
Otherwise they'll get a ticket. The meter rider's out there, but she's letting us move our cars. We can do it right now.
So, somebody-
Without a ticket.
question.
Any other questions? There's two hands here. Whoever raised their hand. It's too much. Two people. Two people raised their hand.
Thank you for a wonderful nectarian class, Maharaj. You mentioned that fire sacrifice at this age is for our samskara. And true yagya is the chanting the holy names. Also, Krishna is known as the most renounced, as one of his opulences. And he is all satisfied. Does it mean that in all other yugas, the prescribed self-realization process was for the sake of jivas?
Well, it doesn't mean that on all the other yugas, the prescribed process of self-realization was for the jivas only.
So that the fire sacrifice in Tripa Yuga was just a process of austerity and meditation.
The fire sacrifice in Treta Yuga was just a process of austerity and meditation. Question.
On Treta Yuga, I see Satya Yuga, they were doing meditation.
See, in Satya Yuga, they were doing the meditation.
In Treta Yuga, they were doing fire sacrifice.
In Treta Yuga, they were doing fire sacrifice.
Actually, by the fire sacrifices, they could actually have the personality of Godhead appear.
Actually, by the fire sacrifices, they could have the personality of Godhead appear.
And there's some descriptions of that.
There are some descriptions of that.
So it was truly amazing.
So it was truly
things they
amazing.
did. By fire sacrifice, they could take an old cow, they get young.
By fire sacrifice, they could take an old cow and make it young.
Things like they could do amazing things.
They can do all kinds of things.
But now, in Kali Yuga, that's forbidden because Brahmins are not so qualified.
Now in Kali Yuga, that's forbidden because Brahmins are not so qualified. Does that answer your question? Okay. Yes. There was another question.
Hare Krishna. After hearing all of these pastimes over and over throughout my life, I'm wondering, why is it so difficult to take advantage of Lord Chaitanya's mercy if it's so readily available?
After hearing all these pastimes again and again in my life, why is it so difficult to take advantage of Lord Chaitanya's mercy still for me?
I mean, we should do our devotional service in the 8th canto in the Gajendra Moksha.
In the 8th canto, in the story of Gajendra Moksha,
There's a pastime where Gajendra was fighting with a crocodile.
there's a pastime where Gajendra was fighting with the crocodile.
And they were in a lake.
They were in a lake.
And so, after a long fight,
So after a long fight,
Gajendra realized that he was losing
so Gajendra then realized he was losing.
because he's a land animal
Because he was a land animal.
and he is stronger on the land.
He is stronger in the land,
But the crocodile is a water animal.
but the crocodile is the water
In the
animal.
water.
He's in the water,
So he's more strong in the water.
so he is more strong in the water.
And then the Gajendra remembered some prayers from his previous life.
So Gajendra, he remembered some prayers from his previous life,
and he prayed to the Lord.
And he prayed to the Lord.
Anyway, the Lord came and saved him.
Anyways, the Lord came and saved him.
And both the crocodile and him are there for some different reasons.
So both the crocodile and him were there for some different reasons.
I think one of them was Hoo,
I think one of them was Hu,
the Gandharva king,
the Gandharva king,
and the other was Indradumna,
and the other was Indradumna.
another king who was cursed.
And the king was cursed.
And they had become the elephant king and the crocodile king.
And the elephant king and the crocodile king.
And then Prabhupada in the third part, he said that just like the crocodile was in his element water,
So Srila Prabhupada was saying that just like the crocodile, he was in his element, the water.
he was stronger.
He was stronger.
So like that, we should be in a position where they're strongest.
So we should be in a position where we are strongest.
Someone may be stronger as a grihastha,
Someone may be stronger as a grihastha,
or someone with a regular sex life,
where there's regulated sex life,
or someone may be stronger as a renounced order.
or someone may be stronger in the renounced order.
According to where they're stronger, they should still fight against Maya.
But accordingly, where they are stronger, they should still fight Maya.
They should try to practice Krishna consciousness.
They should try to practice Krishna consciousness.
It's not that one size fits all.
It's not that one side is.
One size fits all.
Oh, it's not that one size fits all.
I couldn't say something like that in India.
I couldn't say something like that in India.
Because they don't understand. But here I can say it, right?
But here I can say it, right?
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
So I can use some American slang.
So I'll give you some American slangs.
So, like that, we should be determined to fight.
So like that, we should be determined to fight.
We should be determined to practice our Krishna consciousness.
We should be determined to practice our Krishna consciousness.
And maybe, the situation may be different
And
for
maybe
people.
the situation may be different for different people.
Our Prabhupada was giving a lecture in London in 1973
Srila Prabhupada was giving a lecture in London in 1973
on his Vyasoja,
on his Vyasa Puja.
and he said how his Gurudev had sent some sannyasis,
And he was saying how his Gurudev had brought some sannyasis, send some sannyasis
to preach,
to preach
but
in England.
they failed.
But they failed.
Some Lord had a sannyasi, he made me a Brahmin.
So also when Lord, he asked a sannyasi, can you make me a Brahmin?
Sure,
And he said, sure.
give up illicit sex, gambling, intoxication, and meeting.
Give up illicit sex, gambling, intoxication, and meeting.
That's impossible.
That's impossible,
He replied,
he replied.
that's my life.
That's my life.
So, all right, the Prabhupada said he sent 3 Grihastha couples.
But then Srila Prabhupada said he sent 3 Grihastha couples.
They were successful.
They were successful.
So he was requesting that he wanted all his Grihastha followers to be Paramahamsas.
So he was requesting that he wanted all his Grihastha followers to be Paramahamsas.
And it's like he said, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a Grihastha.
And he said that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was a Grihastha.
He had produced a son, his Gurudev, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
He had produced a son, his Gurudev, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
So we named many such acharyas.
So we need many such acharyas
Please
to preach,
produce children like that, acharyas.
produce children like that, acharyas.
Many in India, a lot of grihastas come today and they say, we've been married for X number of years, we don't
And
have
many
any children.
grihastas, they come, they ask me, we have been married for several years, we don't have children.
Give a blessing that I can have a child.
Give a blessing that I can have a child.
But actually, that's not a very good blessing,
But actually, that's not a very good blessing,
just to have a child.
just to have a child.
You want a Krishna conscious, long-lived, healthy, Suputra.
You want a Krishna conscious, long-lived, healthy suputra,
Or maybe acharya.
maybe an acharya.
A Prabhupada was doing a lecture like that.
So Srila Prabhupada was giving a lecture like that.
In India, I'm a lone fighter.
In India, I'm a lone fighter.
I'm trying to establish that how ladies can be Krishna conscious and so on.
I'm trying to establish how ladies can be Krishna conscious and so on.
But there's a lot of back peddling from the Indians.
But there's a lot of back
Peddling.
peddling from the Indians.
Indian leaders, not
Indian leaders.
I'm Indian.
I'm Indian.
Anyway,
Anyways,
so don't be discouraged.
so don't be discouraged.
Be strong.
Be strong.
Fight against Maya.
Fight against Maya.
Help distribute books, help produce acharyas, and so on.
Help distribute books, help the previous acharyas and so on.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So at 4:30 today here in the temple, we have an initiation ceremony. 4:30, please come. You're all welcome.
I need some help. Who will help to distribute these cookies? Oh, is it you come? Yeah, yeah, come. I want to give one to Savas Prabhu. Hello. Whether he wants to help. Don't give to me. Give